Welcome back to my channel Adhyan with Flow. Okay, let's begin with chapter 2. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants means angiosperms, not gymnosperm. Okay, now sexual reproduction is done by flower in the case of angiosperm. Okay, let's start detailed explanation about flower. I know you are familiar with flower. Okay, what is flower? This is the longitudinal dissection part of flower. Now tell me, what is this? This is the stigma part of female sex organ. This is the style, long cylindrical structure of female sex organ. And yes, this is the ovary. And here egg is present. Alright, now next thing is, wait. What is this? Now this is the male sex organ part. Anther, stamen, filament part. Here pollen grains are formed. Okay, now next thing, tell me. This is the petal part. Mostly they are colorful. So bee can attract and helpful in pollination. Next thing is what? Look at here, this is a greeny. All time this part is greeny and we call it as a sepal. Sepal, it may be vary in numbers. It may be vary as well as petal, they also vary in number. Anther, large in number, but this part is only one. I hope you are familiar with this thing. Okay, let's start. Now guys, let's begin with fertilization. There is 3 steps: pre-reproduction part, reproduction part and post-reproduction part. One by one we will discuss everything. Now guys, what is pre-fertilization? Means before fertilization, what kinds of events happening in plants? I repeat, before fertilization, what kind of events happening in plants? You can say in flower. Simple, very simple guys. First, what they focus that their male sex organ properly developed or not. Second, what they do, their female sex organ developed or not. They check their orientation, their differentiation, their development. Alright. Male sex organ check out their pollen grains, stamen, filaments. Female sex organ, they check their ovary, means egg, their stigma, their style. Alright. Let's discuss about male reproductive organ. Alright. The name is stamen. We can say microsporangia. We can say pollen grains. Look at here. This is the structure of stamen. This is the anther part. This is the long cylindrical filament part. And here, what they synthesize? They synthesize pollen grains. Whatever I explain here now, already all thing is written here. Guys, look at here properly. This is bilobed or not? Yes. If I dissect longitudinally, they divide it into 2 equal parts or not? But if I cut it transversely, guys, this is the longitudinal cut. Okay, and if I cut like this in manner, this is the transfer cut. If I cut transfer manner, I am zooming here. This is the structure we can saw. Look at here. This is the one lobe and this is the another lobe. This is the guys filament. Okay, they have what? Pollen sacs, and pollen sacs, they are sacs like structure, sac. Okay, bag like structure. This is the common word. Okay, they synthesize what? They produce what? Pollen grains. Yeah, this is the main male sex particle. Are you here one term? Pollination. Are you here this term? Yes, you are familiar with this term. Pollination means transfer of pollen grains. Alright. Guys, how they mature, how they synthesize? They synthesize with the help of microsporangia, and microsporangia further developed into pollen grains. If I zoom this pollen grain, this kind of structure is present. This is the outer part, exine, and this is the inner part, intine. According to book, these terms are vary. After maturation, this layer is breakdown. When condition is occur, this exine layer is dissolved, and here what they do, they make they make pollen tubes, and here they carry what? Male gamete. Alright. Okay guys, now let's discuss about the structure of microsporangia, this thing. Okay, when we cut transferally, okay, we all know now, if we cut transferally this kind of division, we can easily means microsporangia is easily visualized. They said that they made up with 4 layer. Yeah, this is not only 1 layer, this is made up with 4 layer. Yeah, outer layer is epidermis, endodermis, middle layer. But guys, most important layer is what? Tympanum. They provide what, guys? They provide nutrition. What they provide? They provide nutrition. Guys, microsporangia, what they do? They produce microspore. At a one time, they divide into 2. Okay, they perform some division. So, microsporangium, what they do? They produce microspore, means male sexual particles. Okay, now each, we can also call it as the set of these 4 cells, we call it as a tetrad. Okay, in future they become pollen grains. I think this is clear. Okay, I am drawing a flow chart for you here. Okay, let's see. Look at here guys, this is the epidermis, outer layer, endo, middle, and tympanum, innermost, and they contain microspore mother cell, MMC. In future they develop and they become pollen grains. Look at here guys, very beautiful. Look at here guys, they are huge in number. Okay, now I make a flow chart for you. Okay, male sex organ. Okay, what is the name of male sex organ? Stamen. Okay, stamen is made up with 2 parts, anther part and filament part. Guys, this part does not take participation in reproduction. Yeah, this part is participate in reproduction. So you can write this thing, participation in reproduction. Which part? Anther. They take participation in reproduction. Now, what you say about anther? Let's begin with anther. There is one word like they are cylindrical structure, long and attached with the ovary. It may be any kind of petals, it may be sepals. Alright, now let's discuss about anther. This is the bilobed structure. If we cut longitudinally, bilobed structure is present. Now second property, what we study, that if we cut transferally, you have to write division. Okay, you have to explain division. If I cut transferally, then what you visualize? This kind of structure, this. Now here is what they made up with 4 layer. 4 layer is what? First is epidermis, second is endodermis, third is middle layer, and next is fourth is tympanum, and this is the nutritive. Okay, first is epidermis, second is endodermis, third is middle layer, and fourth is what guys? Tympanum. This is the nutritive layer. They provide nutrition for microspore. Okay, now how microspore are formed? Microsporangia, they divide, meiosis, and make a 4 cell. We can call it as a tetrad. Each cell make what? Pollen grains. And pollen grains, what kind of structure of pollen grains? They have outer rigid layer. We call it as exine. Inner layer is also. Okay, in future this pollen grain transferred due to help of pollination After pollination, they reach toward the stigma part of female sex organ, and where they arise pollen tube with their male gamete. Alright. So this is whatever we study now, already all thing is written here. Alright guys. Okay, wait a minute. Let me check what is remaining here. Okay, microsporogenesis. Okay, this thing is, we call it as a microgenesis. Pollen grain. Okay, we study this thing also. Okay. Pollen grains. Okay, this represent male gamete. This is the structure of pollen grains. Okay, in future they divide, they germinate, and they make pollen tube. They contain male gamete. Yes, and these male gamete fuse with egg cell, and we call it as a fertilization. If another male gamete is fused with a pollen nuclei, we call it as a double fertilization. Simple. Okay, look at here. These are the some microscopic structure of pollen grains. Look at here. What beautiful. Huh? This is the outer layer. Look at here. Exine, outer layer, rigid layer. They protect pollen grain from surrounding in critical conditions. Look at here. Okay, now how they divide. I told you na that microscope give rise pollen grains, microsporingia give rise microspore, how they germinate, how they make pollen tubes. Look at here. This is the what? This is the what? Pollen grain structure. Whatever I explain here now already written here. Now what they contain? Now tell me what they contain. They contain vacuole, they contain nucleus. Okay, got it. Now asymmetric division is occur. Now what is asymmetric division? Means this division occur, but they divide cell into two unequal part. If I say here symmetrical, means one cell is divided into two equal part. But if I say asymmetrical division, means two different unequal size of cell is formed. Now large size cell, we call it as a vegetative cells, and they contain what? Nucleus also. This is the generative cell. What they contain? Nucleus also. Yes or not? Okay, look at here. Pollen grains are rich in nutrients. Of course, they are rich in nutrients, but not all time they are beneficial. Some have allergy from pollen grains, like I have allergy. Okay, now let's begin with female reproductive organ. Okay, let's start without wasting any time. Let's start with female reproductive organ. Now, little bit complex. Okay, this is little bit complex. Okay, this is not easy like male reproductive organ, like stem. That's it. No, huge. Okay, now what is the name of female reproductive organ? Pistil megasporangia. Guys, in the case of male reproductive organ, we call it as a microsporangium, but in the case of female, we call it as mega. This word is same, but in the case of female, here is mega. In the case of male, there is micro. Look at here, embryo sac. Okay, let's move forward. Look at here. If you understand this thing now, you can easily understand sex organ of female. Okay, this is the overall structure of female sex organ. Look at here. This is the stigma part. Here pollen grains reach and they arise their pollen tube, and these pollen tube travel with the help of long cylindrical structure style, and they fuse with egg cell. This is the style part. This is the ovary, and there is a thalamus where this whole part are situated. Okay, this is the zoom structure of ovule. Look at here. This part is what? Hilum. Long part is what? Funicle. Yeah, this is a space. Micropyle. Micropyle, this word you also hear when I teach you Drosophila. This is the outer integument, this is the inner integument, this is the nucleus, and here is embryo sac, and these are the chalageal part. Here tube will come, means pollen tube will come and fuse with egg. Okay, what you understand by multi-carpillary means they have multiple carpus, means multiple female part. Look at here, multiple. And here this is different. They are fuse. Each part will fuse. Here not fusion. They are apocarpus in form. All are free. But here they make syncarpus. They make group. Alright. So I think this fourth thing is clear. Okay, these things I already described, all things: funicle, hilum, integuments, micropyle. Okay, chalageal part, nucleus, embryo sac, and female neuron. Okay, megasporogenesis means one cell divided into final stage is what? 4 megaspore. But in the case of megasporogenesis, in the case of microspore, all are from pollen grain. But in the case of megasporogenesis, only one cell is developed and convert into what? Egg. Look at here, their division. Look at here. Now, this is the, okay, avoid these things. Avoid these things. Focus on MMC, megasporic. This is the one cell or not? One cell or not? This cell divide and make two cell. Yes, clear? And this cell divide into 4 cell, means they form tetrad. This is the same to same. Microsporogenesis same and megasporogenesis same. But now what happened next? These 3 cells are decay, dead, dissolve. But one cell participate in egg cell formation. And this cell, now this cell is not divide in future, but their nucleus will divide. Look at here. This cell, now 2, now 4. Are you understand? Now 2 cell divided into 4. Look at here. Divided into 4. Look at here. And now they are arranged in this manner. 3 are come here. 3 goes upside. Here 1 and 1. Remaining part situated in mid part. Let me erase again. Are you understand or not? I am repeating again. 2 cell. These 2 form 4. And now what happen next? These 3 cell goes upward. These 3 cell goes downwards, and these 2 nuclei situated here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2. 3, 3, 6, 7 and 8. Now this part, up part is chelagial part. Here pollen tube is not fused. This is the micropyle part. Look at here na, when I teach you this thing, I told you here is micropyle part, here is pollen tube is come and fuse with egg cell. Now here pollen tube is come and fuse with this egg cell. They are helpful synergid cells. Okay, they are helpful. Okay, these are filiform apparatus and these are polar nuclei. They don't cover with cell. Okay, they are antipodal. They also form embryo sacs. Now clear how one cell nucleus divided into 2, 2 divided into 4, 4 divided into 8. How these 8 nuclei arranged in this manner and how they fuse. Okay, look at here. Same or not? Whatever I explained there na, already all thing is written here. What kind of synergid, what kind of antipodal cells, 8 nuclei, 7 cell, because guys, nuclei 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but they are 7 cell. This 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell, 1 cell, 2 cell, 3 cell, but this is solely 1 cell, but they contain 2 nucleus. This 1 cell contain 1 nucleus, this one contain 1, this one contain 1, but this complete cell contain 2 nucleus. So that's why we call it as a 8 nuclei and 7 cell structure. Okay, that's all for now, guys. Okay, now pollination we will discuss in our next video. So take care, guys, keep smiling and don't forget to subscribe my channel Adyan with Flow. Thank you for watching me. Thanks a lot.